When my Uncle Mark dropped that video in my inbox, it was like the ground shifted beneath me. My entire world tilted, and there they were, my parents and my brother Ethan, sprawled around our weathered kitchen table in Tucson, Arizona, tearing me apart like I was some deadweight they'd been dragging around. The golden desert sun poured through the windows, bathing the room in a warm glow that felt like a cruel joke against the ice in their words. Emma only chips in because she owes us. My mom, Diane, sneered, her voice thick with disdain. After all we've done for her, covering the mortgage is the least she can do. Ethan, smirking like he just won some petty game, jumped in. Yeah, and she acts like it's some grand favor. What a laugh. The gut punch came from my dad, Paul, silent, nodding along. The same guy who taught me to balance on a bike and slog through algebra with me now sat there, letting them shred me without a word. The video wobbled, clearly filmed in secret, but their venom rang loud and clear. I watched it 3 times, each loop sinking me deeper into a weird cocktail of numbness and razor-sharp realization. For 4 years I'd been funneling cash into their mortgage through my LLC, Horizon Holdings. They thought they were paying a bank, too lazy to skim the fine print my financial advisor, Rachel, had set up. Every month, they tossed in their measly share while I quietly covered the rest. All while they grumbled about my barely there help. Uncle Mark's text hit right after the video. You needed to see this, Emma. I couldn't keep quiet. They've been at it for months. I sat in my home office, staring at spreadsheets that screamed the truth. Over $200,000 I'd sunk into keeping them cozy in that house. My hands should have trembled with rage, but they were steady as I skimmed the mortgage agreement. A smirk tugged at my lips when I spotted the purchase option clause Rachel had insisted on. Just in case, she'd said. Looking back, I wondered if she'd sensed this betrayal brewing. The next payment loomed 2 weeks out, and for once I knew exactly what I'd do. I shot Mark a quick reply. Thanks for the truth. They won't know it was you. Things are about to shift. I'd always been their safety net, the one they'd never credit. For years ago, when Tucson's housing market tanked and they teetered on losing the house, I stepped up. At 27, I'd already carved out a solid career as a software development manager. Ironic, since they'd scoffed at my path. Software's no job for a woman, Mom would snap, lips tight. Ethan's the one with real business chops. Yet Ethan, their golden boy, had nearly torched Dad's real estate firm in 2 years flat. When they begged for help, I turned to Rachel. Her fix? Set up Horizon Holdings, buy the house through it, and let them think they were still dealing with a bank. It shielded me legally while bailing them out. A win-win, I thought. They kept their pride, I kept them afloat. Mark was the only one in on it, catching me and Rachel hashing it out at a family barbecue. You're too good to them, Emma, he'd warned. They don't deserve it. I brushed it off, their family. They gave me a home. But that video shattered my delusions. Their words looped in my head. She owes us. What a joke. The least she can do. Each stab fueled me as I logged into Horizon's account. The next payment was due on the 15th, 13 days away. They'd never miss one, but this time I wouldn't swoop in. Let them taste the fallout of their ingratitude. Let them face a real bank. They had no clue their worthless daughter was their landlord. The thought sparked a dark grin. Karma just needed a nudge. The next day, Mark sent more ammo. Screenshots from a family group chat. Family funds they'd locked me out of 6 months ago. Each message was a fresh wound. Ethan, Emma thinks she's hot stuff with her tech gig. Barely helps with the mortgage while I run Dad's business. Mom, we should squeeze her for more. She's single, no kids, what else does she blow her cash on? We raised her, she owes us. I pulled my records, hands shaking now. 4 years, $267,843 from me to Horizon Holdings, while they'd coughed up a measly $52,500. I'd been footing an extra $5,400 monthly, and they didn't even know. Then my phone buzzed. Mom. Sweetie, dinner Sunday? We need to talk about something big. I could smell the guilt trip coming. They wanted more cash, served with a side of manipulation. My stomach churned at the thought of playing dumb. I called Rachel. What's my play with the purchase clause? Her voice was calm, unsurprised. If they miss a payment, Horizon can claim the house outright. They become month-to-month tenants. Evictions on the table under Arizona law if they slip on rent. She paused. You sure about this? Emma, I thought of their snide jabs, Ethan tanking the business they praised, years of being their ATM while they sneered. Yeah, I said steady, but I'll keep it quiet. Let them think it's business as usual. I texted Mom back, see you Sunday. Can't wait. The heart emoji was pure sarcasm, but they trained me well. Sometimes revenge wears a smile. Sunday dinner was a masterclass in restraint. I rolled up to their Tucson house at 6 p.m., the desert sunset blazing orange and purple. My place smelled of Mom's lasagna. A nostalgia trap meant to soften me up. Emma, honey, she cooed, hugging me, her new bracelet glinting, bought with money they should have saved for the payment due in 9 days. Ethan lounged at the table, smug in his button-up. Hey sis, nice of you to squeeze us in. I grinned, swallowing the truth. His cushy life rested on my dime. Dad shuffled in from his study, bank statements in hand, prepping their pitch. Before we eat, Mom started plating lasagna. We need to talk. She shot Dad a look. Go ahead, Paul. He cleared his throat. The business is struggling. Real estate's rough. I chewed slowly. Ethan's mismanagement, not the market, was the problem. We're so proud of you, Mom gushed, grabbing my hand. All our sacrifices for your education. And now the mortgage is crushing us. Dad chimed in, voice heavy with that old authoritative tone. With your computer job doing so well, software development, I corrected. He waved it off. We figured you could pitch in more. It's your family home too. Mom jumped in, just $2. 000 extra a month. Pocket change for you. I savored my bite, hiding my disbelief. They wanted $2,000 on top of the $5,000 I was already covering? I'll think about it, I said coolly. Things are tight. Ethan snorted. Tight? We know you're fine, unlike me, busting my ass for the family legacy. I smiled, picturing their bank's default notice. You're right, Ethan. We all get what we deserve. Post-dinner, I detoured past Dad's study. Their hushed voices leaked out. Ethan, she's not helping. Sitting there all high and mighty with her tech cash while we struggle. Dad, patience. I found investment docs in her cloud last month when she used our Wi-Fi. She's hiding money in some Horizon Holdings LLC. My heart stopped. They'd snooped when I'd logged in unprotected. Mom, we'll give her one shot to help willingly. If not, I'll bring up that college tuition she borrowed. She'll cave. I nearly laughed. They meant the $2,000 I'd repaid with interest after their check bounced. They had nothing. Then Ethan. If that flops, I'll call her company's HR. Hint she's unstable, maybe skimming resources. That'll wake her up. Their casual plot to ruin me froze my blood. These weren't kin, they were leeches in disguise. I flushed the toilet for cover and rejoined them, poker face intact. Mom beamed. Thought more about the mortgage, sweetie? Yep, I said. Locking eyes. You'll hear from me in 8 days. Ethan frowned. Why 8? Just checking with my advisor. I replied, slinging my purse over my shoulder. Good business sense, right? Mom hugged me at the door. Family first, always. Always, I echoed, drafting their eviction notice in my head. The week dragged, their texts piling up, sob stories about money woes, each one hardening my resolve. I forwarded them to Rachel, prepping for the showdown. Paperwork set, she said, 3 days out. Once they miss it, Horizon takes the house. Eviction's ready if you need it. Ethan texted next, heard text laying off. Scary, huh? Good thing you've got us. So that help. I showed Mark over coffee. They're predictable, he sighed. They've pulled this on everyone. You ready for the blowback? I nodded. They picked their fate. 2 days before the deadline, Mom called, desperate. We need your answer, Emma. Soon, Mom. I said. Real soon. That night, their bank flagged a bounced payment. They were broke. I told Rachel to hold off until it was official. Let them sweat, I said. I emailed my HR team, attaching Mark's evidence, preempting their threats. The deadline hit, and at 9:12 a.m. Mom called, panicked. The bank says we defaulted. Not a bank, I said. Horizon Holdings, my LLC. Check your email. The house is mine now. Your tenants. Silence. Then what? She gasped. I've paid most of your mortgage for years while you trashed me. Mark showed me everything. Rent's due in 30 days. Start packing. Dad jumped in. You ungrateful, careful, I snapped. That's no way to talk to your landlord. I hung up, blocked them. and ignored the flood of guilt-tripping emails from relatives. 3 months later, the house stood empty. They'd downsized to a cramped apartment. Ethan's HR stunt flopped, tanking his career instead. Mom's last voicemail whined, "How could you?" Easy, they'd shown me their true colors, and I'd finally seen them for what they were. Mark and his wife helped me prep the place for sale. The profits earmarked for a financial abuse victims fund. Rachel texted. They signed the last papers. It's done. I smiled at the bare kitchen where it all began. They'd preached family first. But I'd picked mine me. And that felt damn good.